Hello, hello. I'm Casey.
And I'm Fallon.
And this is
Render
the
Darkness.
I was a little concerned to do that so dramatically. I'm going to go on a rant that has absolutely nothing to do with this podcast whatsoever. But I'm going to do it anyway. So, I've been on like a TikTok/Lemon8 kick, trying to figure out ways to make my house smell better. Not that it smells bad, I just would like it to smell better. I have children running around and a husband, so, I like it to smell better. Anyways, so I have been doing these little tips and tricks and hacks that I've been seeing all over these videos. Okay, raise your hand if you've tried at least 5 and none of them have worked. Am I watching the wrong videos or what is happening? I swear to God, I let lemons boil on my stove for almost an hour and a half today, just waiting to get any kind of an aroma from it at all. I literally went above the pan and went, and there was nothing. Nothing. I couldn't even smell Well, that's what I did. I have tried doing the laundry beads and mixing it with the warm water and shaking it up and letting it dissolve and using that as like an air freshener. That did not work. I've tried putting the dryer sheets in my dresser drawers to keep my clothes smelling nice and fresh out of the dryer. That did not work. What the hell else have I tried? Like all kinds of stuff I've tried.
The little sticky things with the essential oil.
The little furniture protectors that you're supposed to put between the furniture legs and the floor or whatever. I seen one video that was like if you take the essential oils and you drop some of the essential oils on these little sticky pads and you stick them places that you want to smell good, that'll boost the smell of your house. I put 4 of them in my bathroom with like 15 to 20 drops of essential oils on each sticky thing. Can't smell it at all. So, anybody have any recommendations of videos that I can watch that are going to give me like legitimate tips that I can use? Or am I just like wasting my time on these rabbit holes? Or while y'all are thinking about that, I'm going to give you this episode's fun fact. And after that, I'm going to let Fallon take it away.
Yay.
Fun fact for this episode is that because of their potassium content, bananas are actually naturally radioactive.
Oh.
That might explain why monkeys is so strong.
That might. I don't like bananas, so.
I love bananas.
I'll eat them in banana pudding, certain banana puddings.
What do you mean certain banana puddings?
Like people that make it.
Oh.
Like, our uncle, the one that my husband did, but I'm very picky, so.
Can't help but notice that you didn't mention the one that I just did.
Well, because you did the same one that my husband did, so.
But it may not have tasted the same, and I could not help but notice that you left me off the list.
The one that you just made,
just like
because
your
it
husband's, then you would think you would have added me right there.
Well,
You've been like my uncle's, my husband's. Casey makes an identical one to my husband's.
Well, I guess I could have said that, yes.
No,
yours did taste just like it.
No honorable mentions there. Mm-hmm. I got you. Take it away.
I was going to say something else about bananas, but I don't remember now. But okay.
I don't remember what you were going to say either.
Yeah, probably not. Our memories are terrible, so. But anyway, okay, so this is our second case out of the Florida.
Loose.
And this is going to be about the Florida Skunk Ape. So.
Say that again.
The Florida Skunk Ape. What? Skunk Ape. Skunk Ape. Are we going to be talking about the Skunk Ape?
What the hell was that?
I was trying to go old. Skunk Ape.
Why are you doing the Italian fingers? Like, what are you doing?
This felt right. This felt right to do. Oh no. Because I want to do.
That's going to be my new thing. I'm going to start the episode. Every episode. Render the darkness.
Okay, so I mean, we've all heard stories about Bigfoot throughout our life. Well, this is how this is gonna go. Apparently,
I have heard 0 stories about Bigfoot.
well,
You want to start over? Rewind.
okay, so we have all heard stories of Bigfoot throughout our lives.
It's true.
Now, there have been sightings all over the country for years with different descriptions of, color, size, smell. In this episode, we are going to Florida to talk about Bigfoot's smaller cousin, the skunk ape. So, now people usually describe the skunk ape as looking kind of like a person because it walks upright on 2 feet, and like an ape because of the long hair that covers its body. The hair is said to be a streaky reddish brown, and a lot of people who have claimed to have seen it say it is smaller than the common height description of Bigfoot, standing at around 5 to 6 feet tall. And some say, they've seen it to where it's like 7 to 8 feet tall. Now, the creature was given its name because of the skunk-like odor that its body gives off, and some wonder if it has to do with maybe its diet or where it lives. Now, the history of the skunk ape sightings and accounts have happened in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama since the European settlers began to live in the region. In 1818, a Florida publication reported that a very large monkey that was as tall as a man took food from the grocery stores, and it was stalking people that were fishing by the water.
Too many bananas.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what it took.
I don't know, but I would just like to say for 2 things. For one, I did not intentionally, for my observant listeners and viewers, I did not intentionally, A, make my hair wet, swamp. 2, I did make it intentionally wet when I took a shower, but I didn't make it intentionally wet for the video about the skunk ape. Anyways, also, I didn't make bananas the fun fact on purpose. Like, that just kind of played out that way perfectly, like, because I'm awesome.
Yeah, because, you didn't know what my case was about.
I did not. I just would like to clarify that was strictly my awesomeness shining through in the most coincidental way possible. So we're going to continue.
Yes, we are. Now, there are a few noteworthy sightings, and one was in 1929 at the construction site of the Perky Bat Tower.
Perky Bat Tower.
Now, some people claim to have seen the creature go up to the tower after the bats had been added, and it scared the bats out of the tower by shaking it aggressively, and then just went back into the woods. I guess he didn't want the bats in the tower. It's like, be free!
That was nice of him. Yeah.
Now, in 1942, someone from the Suwannee County claimed that a creature came running out of the brush at his car while he was driving down the road. And he claimed that it got onto his vehicle and started to beat on the side step and the door for almost half a mile before running back into the woods. Now, there were many sightings in the 1940s of the creature in Barden and Putnam County, and they gave it the name the Barden Booger.
The Barden Booger?
Yeah, they named it the Barden Booger.
Aww, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. In the 1960s, there were a lot of sightings in, hopefully I say this correctly, Alachua and Marion counties. There was a family that had quite a few members, all say the same thing. They say they had seen a creature peering into their windows at night. Mm-hmm. Now, in the 1970s, there were 2 sheriff deputies out of Palm Beach County that claimed that they were being followed by a creature that looked like an ape, and they shot at it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why would that be there?
Well, because, as of right now, I haven't really seen anything that has been, like, scary, except for maybe, like the beating on the side step and the door. So, I'm not really sure what it did.
He just saved some bats. What are they mad about?
They claim that they followed the footprints to a barbed wire fence that was on the ground that had a tuft of hair on it. Now, in Broward County, people claimed to see the creature at night on several occasions, and they said that it was covered in dark red to black hair. Okay. Now, the press got a hold of some of the reports, and that is when the skunk ape became popular. They would publish articles about the creature breaking into people's homes and following people around in the woods. Some reported that the creature was killing a farmer's livestock as well as one of his horses and a bull.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not the nicest. One police officer claimed to have hit the creature with his car, but there was no evidence found of that actually happening. In 1974, a newspaper published an article in the Miami News called What's in a Name, Skunk Ape, by John Kessler, talking about having a name change competition for the skunk ape, saying, quote, "Who wants to be called a skunk ape?"
Not a skunk ape.
He just thought it was not a very nice name.
What's your problem, John?
He just thought it deserved a more,
But
nicer.
what's offensive by skunk ape?
Because it's implying that it's stinky.
But they said it is stinky.
Yeah. He just wanted to have a nice name. Kessler had already given his own name to the creature, which was Frank.
Frank?
Yeah, which is kind of funny because anytime like I see a little squirrel in my backyard or a little spider hanging out, I either name it Frank or Fred. I don't know why.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. It's just like, there's Frank. Or there's Fred. Anyway, lots of people wrote in to give their suggestions. Now, I will post a link in the article, or I'll post a link of the article in the show notes if you'd like to know all of the honorable mention names. I have some of the names that I thought were pretty cool names for him or her. One was Everglades Edgar.
Oh, Everglades Edgar.
Yeah. Marty Martian.
Oh, there already is a Marty Martian.
Is there?
Oh, Marvin. Never mind. Just kidding.
Frisbee, and it's because what was said in the paper about this one was, quote, because he's fun to play with. And I put, not sure how they would know that. What?
I don't know why, but...
What? Are you going back to the tennis ball and the Frisbee?
I'm absolutely going back to the tennis ball and the Frisbee.
Exactly.
Maybe one was cremated. They got it laying around their cabin somewhere.
Yeah, as soon as I wrote that, I was like, yeah.
Oh, we throw Everglade Edgar every day. He's lots of fun.
Another name is Floridora and the Everglades Hippie.
Everglades Hippie.
Yeah.
I like both of the Everglade ones, but the other ones are big.
Yeah, I like Everglades Edgar. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, he didn't include the winning name in the article.
Aww.
The article that announced the contest, though, offered an airboating expedition to go and look for the skunk ape. But I was unable to locate the name that won because apparently he forgot to announce it. So if anyone knows...
Well, they really dropped the ball on this damn thing, didn't they?
Yeah. So if anyone out there knows the winning name, please.
Was it Everglade Edgar? It had to be. That's like the best one by far.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That's what I'm gonna call him. That name won in my competition.
Let's just go with it.
Competition of my heart.
But like I said, if you do know, please let us know because I would really like to know. Because there's a lot of other names in that paper that I didn't, say. But I would really like to know which one won. Now, another article published in the Miami Herald by Donna Cameron and Fitz McAdam talked about some different sightings people have had. Now, Charlie Stockman says in the article that he believes in the creature so much that him and his family plans on moving out of their home. Charlie and his neighbors have been having issues with the creature, saying that they keep seeing it around their homes and that they are, quote, living in fear. The article also talks about how the American, hopefully I say this correctly, Anthropological Research Foundation became interested in the sightings. I was just waiting for you to say something. The organization is located in Big Pine Key, and they look into reports involving the skunk ape and Bigfoot. Now, Gary, hopefully I say this name correctly as well, Montanari, who is the officer of the organization, believes that there are at least 3 families that live in Florida. Now, he went to the neighborhood of Charlie Stockman and talked with him and some of his neighbors. And he was shown some of the evidence by Charlie that was close to his home. And he would say that the scratch marks in the dirt, the teeth marks, and the other evidence could have other explanations and didn't really confirm that it was definitely a skunk ape. He would also say that the creatures do exist, but he's not 100% sure that they actually seen them. Now, one last story I want to talk about is that of Dave Shealy. I'm sure a lot of you know, if you've heard the story, you probably know. Live in Florida, I'm sure you probably know as well. Now, I found an interview that he did with Ben Saucier on September 17th, 2021, called Florida's Bigfoot, The Legend of the Skunk Ape. In the interview, Dave talks about some of the differences between the skunk ape and Bigfoot. He said, quote, "The biggest difference is it had 4 toes instead of 5. He says that it will also climb trees in order to get out of the water. Now, Dave says that he has seen the creature about 3 times. He's seen it when he was 10 while he was playing with his brother. The second time, he actually went out trying to find it, and he caught a glimpse of it, but only for a second, then it was gone. The third time, he actually caught it on video. And I will link the video in the show notes if you want to see it.
I want to see it.
It's an interesting video.
Okay.
Now, of course, some people think that the video is fake. But Dave says that, it's proof of the creature's existence. Now, at one point, the Florida state legislature really did think that the skunk ape was real because Representative Hugh Knuckles tried to get a bill passed in 1978. The bill would make, quote, "any person taking possession, harming, or molesting any anthropod or humanoid animal which is native to Florida, popularly known as a skunk ape, a first-degree misdemeanor."
Why'd they put molesting in there?
I don't know. I guess they just don't want you to be like, hey, I don't want you touching it. Don't touch the skunk ape. I don't know why they just didn't say don't touch it instead of that word.
That was a weird way to put that, yeah.
Now, it went into discussion, and one of the representatives said, quote, "Of course the problem is that this beast, if in fact it exists, is in danger of overpublication by the press and people searching for it. And I'm afraid it will go the way of the ivory woodpecker if we do not do something to protect it." Now, unfortunately, the bill didn't pass. I really wish it would have passed.
Of course not.
Now, Dave spent countless hours in the swamps in the Everglades. His family first arrived in the Everglades in 1891 on the island of, hopefully I say this correctly, Chokelaski, where his father, who was a fire chief, and 3 other firefighters took care of the land. Then the government came in and bought up most of the land to create the Big Cypress National Reserve. Now, the town Ochapi is where Dave lives, but is not recognized as a town anymore. The only things that are still there are a very small post office and Dave's Skunk Ape Research Headquarters and campground. Now, it was awesome that he was able to keep his property, but now he had to figure out a way to bring an income from his campground because he was now surrounded by a national park that promoted camping in the area, and most of the time it was free to do. So Dave decided to take a chance by making his business revolve around the skunk ape.
There you go, Dave.
Yep. Now that chance was worth it because people started coming from all over to learn about the creature. Now, in the interview, Dave was asked how many skunk apes that he thought were left, and he said, quote, "about 5 to 7, maybe 2 to 3 more in Mayaka." He suggested that maybe they don't die and said, quote, "the old chief of the Semoli," hopefully I said that correctly, Seminole tribe, told me that when you saw one, it was a spirit. But I still have seen things out in the swamps you wouldn't believe, spirits and shadows. The Everglades is an ancient place, a secretive place. Now, towards the end of the interview, Dave would say that he was going to go out later in the dark with a headlamp and to go in the swamps barefoot. He says that he's actually been bitten by snakes and nibbled on by sharks. And he says that he's actually had to be airlifted to the hospital twice to get antivenom. And that he said, quote, "it's just what I do." So if you're ever in the area, go check out his research headquarters and learn all about the skunk ape of Florida. Because if I'm ever there, I'm definitely going because it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So that is the story of the Florida Skunk Ape. The Florida Skunk Ape.
Well, thank you for sharing, I think.
Oh, you don't like me, little old lady, talking about the Florida Skunk Ape? I don't know.
You know what's really weird about you doing that voice?
What?
Is how much your face matches it. You would think that it would be like, oh, my voice doesn't match that face at all. But it does. What is that? Oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog, the grandma. That's what your mom know when you do that.
But Marion?
Yeah. That exactly. Sorry.
Just when I do that, or just like all the time?
Oh no, us when you do
Okay,
that.
because I was gonna say, I'll take it.
I think it's the fingers.
I don't know why she doesn't do that.
I don't know why.
I don't know why I'm
I
doing
see
it.
that, and I think old lady, but then I think Italian, and then I don't know. That's her face that pops into my. I don't know how this works, man. I have no control over what's going on in here.
Like I said, I don't know why I'm doing the hand thing either. I don't know why. Just for some reason, I feel like an old Italian woman talking about the Florida Skunk Ape. I don't know why. It just happened.
Well, if that's true, I just want you to know you may have offended any Italian woman who may ever watch this podcast.
I'm sorry.
As you should be.
But I'm going to stick with it because that's how I felt in the moment.
I understand. Don't apologize for who you are, ever.
Yes,
just apologize for what you do sometimes. That's the life I live.
Yeah, I apologize if I offended anybody with my little old, Italian grandma talking about the Florida Skunk Ape.
You can't apologize for talking like a little Italian old lady and then it went to skunk ape.
I wasn't doing it in a little old Italian though. I was just doing skunk ape. Live me alone, let me be me.
Pick a lane and live in it.
I'm doing this. This is where I live. Today.
It's been a day. But thank you guys so much for joining us for the Florida Skunk Ape. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Yeah. This is our last one out of Florida. After this, we'll be moving on to Georgia.
Georgia.
I think that actually is a song, isn't it?
I'm sure there is. I don't know what it says.
For sure it says Georgia.
Oh,
for sure.
I'm sure Georgia's in there.
At least once.
Yeah.
But it does sound interesting, and yeah, maybe one day we should make a trip and go check out the old skunk ape. Yeah. See what we can learn in real life.
Yeah. And go take a picture by the Stitchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a statue. It's pretty cool. Stitchy.
Maybe. But until then, we're going to do our best to get us some friends, some subscribers, and some followers. And thank you so much to everybody who already subscribes.
Yes.
Well, I say subscribe. Yeah, subscribes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much to everybody who already subscribes, everybody who already follows, everybody who watches our videos and likes them and comments. And we really appreciate it. We really, really do. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are the motivation for us to keep doing this. So we appreciate that because it's inspirational and motivational. And some days we need that. So to you guys, thank you so much. And thank you to any of our future subscribers and followers. And yeah. We just ask that you like and share and tell a friend.
Yep. Like, share, subscribe, follow.
Yeah. Come hang out with us. Yeah. It's the time.
Yeah. Send us a message. Say hi.
Yeah, we would love for you to say hi.
And we'll say hi.
Oh.
And then you'll be like, what you doing? And we'll be like watching TV or doing Diamond Dogs or working on the podcast. We'll have a conversation.
Oh, we'll
just don't get creepy.
We'll talk to you.
Yeah.
We love conversation.
We like to talk.
And also on that note, we have actually had at least one, possibly two people who have reached out and asked about merch.
Oh, yeah?
We do have a website. We have not put the merch on the website yet because we were kind of waiting for people to show an interest in that. And we have actually had a couple people that have shown an interest in that. So if that's something that you would be interested in, if you could give us a little bit of feedback on whether, we should put some merch. You can see her hat. That's one of the hats. We also have shirts and hoodies and...
We can get anything,
We can get pretty much anything, yeah. Whatever you prefer, keychain, whatever. Coffee cup, yeah. Tumbler. Notebook.
The book of the note.
But yeah, that's something you'd be interested in. If you would let us know, that would be really awesome. We would surely appreciate that as well. Yeah. Other than that, that's our time for today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Are Render the Darkness.
I thought you was going to do the...
Oh. Was I supposed to render the dark? Oh, wait, that was... not a little lady. What voice was that? What? I lost my old lady voice. Where did it go? Replaced it with a 40-year-old smoker. Render the darkness.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
No control over what happens in here.
Okay.
That's my old lady.
You're like, ring down the dog.
I was like, what the fuck? Even I was shocked. I was like, what the hell was that? In here, it was the old lady. It did not come out in that way.
No, it did not. That was hilarious. Okay.